Welcome back. In this lesson, we will learn about determiners. Determiners are the small words that go at the beginning of noun phrases. They are not exactly adjectives, but they serve more or less the same purpose. Just like adjectives, determiners also give more information about nouns. Consider these examples. In my cat, my is a determiner. It shows possession. In your bag, your is a determiner. It also shows possession. In some books, some is a determiner. It answers the question how many. In few children, few is a determiner. It also answers the question how many. Enough money. In enough money, enough is a determiner. It answers the question how much. In any child, any is a determiner. Some of these words can also be used as adjectives. There are mainly two kinds of determiners. They are called Group A determiners and Group B determiners. Let's see what they are. Group A determiners are mainly of three types. Articles. We know what articles are. A and the. Possessives. These words indicate possession. Examples are my, your, his, her, their, our and your. Demonstratives. There are four of them. This, that, these and those. These words are called Group A determiners. So we can see that there are mainly three types of them. Articles, possessives and demonstratives. We cannot put two Group A determiner together. For example, we cannot use an article and a possessive together. Likewise, we cannot use a possessive and a demonstrative together. If there are situations where we have to put two Group A determiners together, we use a structure with of. For example, we cannot say that your cat or that my cat or that a cat. We will say that cat of yours, not that your cat. It should be that cat of yours. It should also be noted that after of we use the possessive pronoun yours, not possessive adjective. That cat of yours, not that cat of your. Group B determiners are usually quantifiers. They answer the question how much or how many. Some examples are given here. Some, any, no, all, both, half, few, little, much, many, each, every, either, neither, what, whatever, which, whichever. All of these are examples of Group B determiners. We can see that some of these words are also used as adjectives. We can put two Group B determiners together. Just like Group A determiners, Group B determiners can go directly before a noun. For example, we can say some children, any child, much money, enough time. There is no of in these expressions. We can put a Group A and a Group B determiner together. However, in this case, we use the preposition of. So, for example, if the noun already has an article, possessive or demonstrative with it, we have to use some of, any of, most of, none of, etc. before it. Consider these examples. Some of the children, not some the children. Here the noun children already has an article, the with it. Hence, we use some of before it. If there was no article, we would say some children. But before an article, we have to say some of the children. Likewise, in the next example, we can say many participants. In this case, the noun participants does not have any determiner, any Group A determiner with it. Hence, we said many participants. However, we have to say many of the participants. Here, the noun participants already has an article with it. Hence, we wrote many of. Now the next example, most of my friends. Here the noun friends has a possessive, my with it. Hence, we wrote most of my friends. However, we can say most people, most children, most students. In this case, the nouns people, children or students do not have any determiners, any Group A determiners with them. Hence, we just used most with them. But if there is a Group A determiner with a noun, we have to say most of, some of, any of, none of these apples. Here the noun apples has a demonstrative, this with it. Hence, we used none of before it. Now, before a pronoun, we have to always use a structure with of. Consider this example. Some of them. We cannot say some them. All of us, not all us. Most of you, not most you. The determiners no and every are special in some ways. They cannot be used before a pronoun or a noun with another determiner. For example, we cannot say no of my friends. It should always be none of my friends. Likewise, we cannot say every of them. It should be every one of them. The other determiners can be used before pronouns and nouns with Group A determiners. For example, we can say some of them, all of them, any of them, but we cannot say no of them. It should be none of them. Likewise, we cannot say every of them. It should be every one of them. We already said that if we have to put a group B determiner before a group determiner, we have to use a structure with of. Sometimes we put a group B determiner after a group A determiner. In this case, we do not use any prepositions. For example, we can say a little water. It indicates a very small quantity of water. Likewise, we can say a few questions. Here the group A determiner A goes before the group B determiner few. The most money. His many friends. But if we have to put his after many, it should be many of his friends, not many his friends. Likewise, if we have to put the after most, it should be most of the money, not most the money. In the same way, we have to say few of the questions, not few the questions, but we can say a few questions. Now let us consider the correct use of some commonly confused determiners. Determiners have plural and singular forms. That means some determiners are used with plural nouns, whereas some determiners are used with uncountable nouns. Much and many are two of the commonly confused determiners. Always use much with an uncountable noun. It shows how much, it shows the quantity. And use many with plural nouns. It shows the number. Much shows the quantity, many shows the number. We say much money because money is an uncountable noun in English. Hence we used much with it. However, we cannot say much children. It should be many children because children is a plural noun and we use many with it. Much money has been wasted on that project. You should also note that much is followed by a singular verb, whereas many is followed by a plural noun and a plural verb. Here we wrote much money has been wasted. We used the singular verb has after much money. Many students are participating in the program. Here we used the plural verb are after many students. Few and little are two other determiners that often cause confusion. Use few with plural nouns and little with the uncountable nouns. Few is the opposite of many. Many indicates a large number, whereas few indicates a very small number. Likewise, much indicates a large quantity, whereas little indicates a very small quantity. So we can say few children. That means a very small number of children. Here we used few because children is a plural noun. In the next example, we used little before help because help is an uncountable noun. Few politicians are honest. Use a plural verb and a plural noun after few, whereas you have to use a singular uncountable noun and a singular verb after little. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. We used a little before knowledge because knowledge is an uncountable noun. We also used a singular verb is after a little knowledge. These are important points to remember. Now we can consider the correct use of these two commonly used determiners, some and any. We can use some with plural and uncountable nouns. Likewise, any can also be used with plural and uncountable nouns. However, there is a difference. We use some mainly in affirmative sentences, whereas any is mainly used in questions and negative sentences. Consider these examples. I need some help. This is an affirmative sentence. Here we used the determiner some before the uncountable noun help. In the next sentence, we used any because it's a question. Do you need any help? We don't say do you need some help. It should always be do you need any help because in questions and negative sentences we use any. In affirmative sentences we use some. Some of the questions were difficult. Here we used some with a plural noun questions. We actually wrote some of here because the noun question has an article, a group A determiner with it. You can take any of these books. Here we used any in an affirmative sentence. That is because here any is used with the meaning it doesn't matter which. Each and every are also two determiners. These are always used with the singular nouns. They should also be followed by a singular verb. Every child needs love. Note that after every we use the singular noun child and the singular verb needs. Each hand has 5 fingers. Here after each we use the singular noun hand and the singular verb has. Each of the children was given a prize. Here we used a plural noun after each of. However, the verb is still singular. Each of and every one of are followed by a plural noun and a singular verb. Each of the children was given a prize. Note that here we use the singular verb was. However, each of is followed by a plural noun. Each should be followed by a singular noun, but each of is followed by a plural noun. I have invited each of them. Before a pronoun, we have to use each of. Each, we cannot use each before a pronoun. It should always be each of them. I have invited each of them. All is used with a plural noun and a plural verb. All children need love. We can also say every child needs love. Here after all we used the plural noun children. It is also followed by the plural verb need. If we use every, it should be every child needs love. Every should be followed by a singular noun and a singular verb. All lights were out. Here the noun lights is plural in number and the verb were is also plural. Before a noun with another determiner we can use all or all of. All the students took the test, or we can say all of the students took the test. Here the noun students has an article with it. However, before it we can use all of. Either could be used here and there is no difference in meaning. Likewise, both can also be used in this manner. We can say both the students or both of the students. Both my parents or both of my parents. There is no difference in meaning. Both are correct. I hope this video was helpful. I have explained the correct use of some of the most commonly used determiners in this video. If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.